turn! Pick on someone your own size!
Hey everybody, it's Mxyzpltk here. This is going to be my Supergirl Season 2 Luthors episode review, so I am behind on a lot of videos. I'm going to get as much out as I can. A lot of people are talking about the new leak for Descendants 2. I will talk about that. There's also news of the Nightwing movie that's coming. I'll talk about that as well. I'm also going to be live streaming today, so all of this craziness is going to come up. We are going to see all these videos, but we got to get through some of them first. So Supergirl, got to get through that, the Luthors episode. Supergirl has been off its game recently, but the Mxyzpltk episode kind of helped it out a little bit. Like I can't even say his name. Mxyzpltk, that episode kind of helped it out a little bit. But this episode, there was ups and downs with this one. So let's talk about it. So Lena Luthor, big character in this episode. She's kind of the main character in this episode. She has this whole plot that was put against her where they framed her, like Cyborg Superman framed her to make her look like she was evil in this episode. Now, this is ridiculous because I hated this whole thing in this episode about Lena Luthor being evil and nobody believing Kara that she was good. You know aliens that can shapeshift into human beings. They can shapeshift. What makes you think that this isn't shapeshifting? Another thing, how come Martian Manhunter didn't just like fly to her and be like, oh hey, I'm gonna read your mind. And be like, hey Lena, I'm gonna see if you're actually evil by reading your mind. Or, again, the whole shapeshifting thing. Like, there's a Cyborg Superman, and there's like Supergirl, and there's Martians and like all these crazy a parasite, a ginormous creature. Like there's all these things and like interdimensional travel. I just don't understand why they didn't think maybe there's an alien frame, trying to be her. Like it was so stupid. I hated the storyline so much. I hated that. And it just it bugged me so much. But Lena Luthor, great character. I love seeing her on the show. I also love seeing her backstory in this episode of how she was introduced into the family. Lillian Luthor explained how she is the half child, but she's still a Luthor. Like, she still has Luthor DNA, so she's not entirely adopted. I love seeing young Lex, too. Like, young Lex Luthor was on the show. There were so many Lex Luthor Easter eggs in this episode, so we'll talk about that near the end of the video. But again, the whole Lena thing was just horrible. I mean, I believed Kara the whole time. I was like, it's so obvious that she didn't do it. Like, quit trying to trick Lena. Like, they did that back in the first half of Season 2, where they were like, oh, Lena set off the bomb. Like, it's just, they need to stop trying to tease us. Like, we get it. She's not evil. She's never going to be evil. We get it. So they need to stop throwing it in our faces. Metallo returned in this episode. I always love seeing Metallo on the show. I really like him quite a bit. But here's the thing. I thought he died. Like, he didn't die and he was arrested. But this episode, he has to be dead. Like, he blew up. Like, you can't just blow up and then come back. So I don't think they're going to be bringing back Metallo anytime soon. If they do, that's fine. I mean, if it was Doomsday, that would change it. Because, like, Doomsday, when he dies, he comes back stronger. So I get that. And Doomsday will probably come back in the DCEU at some point. But Metallo's dead. But again, love seeing him on the show. I always love seeing Kryptonite, used in these types of ways. If not Kryptonite used in like really cool ways, then I really like seeing them use Metallo and his like design for Kryptonite, like shooting the whole Kryptonite blast. So that was really fun to see him come back on the show. But again, the whole plan, like, I don't like how they did Cyborg Superman at the end of the episode either. I thought that was kind of ridiculous. And like last time, Kara could barely even go up against Cyborg Superman. This time they had more of a chance, and then Martian Manhunter just like flew in. Like, Jean, why would you just fly in? It just didn't make sense to me. Like, I get it, but it's like, why weren't you helping Kara this whole time? Like, I don't get it. It's just weird. I don't like how they're doing this. Another thing that I don't like is James, too, in this episode. We'll talk about that. I hate James so much. I hate him. This season. Last season he was okay, but this season he's just horrible. But again, Lena, great character. I love seeing her backstory this episode, and I love seeing them kind of play around with the mother-daughter relationship. James was horrible. Oh, he's a ridiculous character. I hate James so much. So he really, I just hate him. I think he's a really horrible character, and I think he's unnecessary for this season. I think that the whole Guardian storyline is horrible. I hate it. And nothing against the actor, but he's doing a horrible job at trying to make this work. And it's because of writing. It's not really the acting as much as it is the writing is making him look. And I think that James, the whole, "Oh, Kara, I'm Guardian, you can't, I have to be my own here," it's pointless. It's pointless to make him Guardian. It's pointless to make him a vigilante. There's Supergirl. That's what I don't like about when, Superman has people trying to evade him. It's like, he's Superman. He doesn't really need your help. That's what the Justice League is. That's where all of them help each other. So it's like, having someone, like I said, Batman has sidekicks, which makes sense, because he's like a human man. I mean, he doesn't really need them because he's Batman, as we've seen with many stories. But it's more of a family type concept rather than Superman, right? So it doesn't make sense to me how this all ties in. I just don't like James. Lillian Luthor, again, love seeing Lillian. I can't wait to see what happens with her character later on down the line. I think she's supposed to return in the next episode. Well, not the next one, because the next one's Mxyzpltk, but the one after that one. I think that after that episode, we're supposed to see her return. I love Lillian. I think that she's a great villain. She's really interesting. She's not a great character, but she's still a good villain. Like, she's interesting. She's intriguing to watch. Like, you just can't get enough of her, even though you don't want to have more of her. So, love seeing that. But Lex Luthor Easter eggs. So, Black Mercy was featured in this episode. We got a Black Mercy episode in Season 1. So, it was really great to see that kind of introduced, kind of. Not really introduced because they didn't use it, but it was Easter egg. Lex's Kryptonian suit was in there. Love that suit. That's like one of the most iconic Lex Luthor things ever from the comics and from like any other thing you've seen him in. A lot of people thought they were going to do the Lex Luthor suit in Batman v Superman, but they didn't do that. I'm glad they didn't do it because it would have been too much. But yeah, so many Lex Luthor Easter eggs. Again, we got to see young Lex. So I'm wondering if maybe, just maybe, like Season 3, they'll have an actual Lex Luthor. I would love to see what the DC TV verse can do with a Lex Luthor of their own. I love the DCEU Lex Luthor. I love Jesse Eisenberg. A lot of people hate him. I just don't see why. I think he's pretty interesting. I think he's a nice, refreshing take. Like, it's like an insane young Lex. I love it. I think I like that Lex Luthor quite a bit. But I want to see what they can do with their Lex Luthor, and I think they'll do more of a classic version. So what do you guys think of this episode? Did you like it? Did you hate it? To me, I just didn't like this episode. It was really bad, but there were still some good moments in there. So what did you guys think about it? Comment down below. Links up there to my other Supergirl videos. Links in there to my Twitter, Instagram, vlog channel, and gaming channel. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.